This is not a test. This is rock and roll.
I wake up every morning in a bed that's too small, drive my daughter to a school that's too expensive, and then I go to work to a job for which I get paid too little.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. We can stay up late, swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
You're waking up with the Morning App on 90.5 WASU.
And welcome into the Morning App. It is the first Monday here, starting off the rest of the school semester after spring break. I am looking at a panel of people that are both dehydrated, most likely, and generally tired. The break is always good and always too short. Guys, how was spring break?
Chow just sounds so tired right now.
He's like, the week has really started.
It's Monday after spring break.
I had a good spring break, don't get me wrong, and it was indeed too short. However, I hung around Boone the entire time and was kind of taking care of some, just personal things, getting rejected from jobs, things of that nature, So that was, mostly what I was into. So that's part of the reason.
Well, to make your day better, Travis, it is first day of spring. It might not feel like it outside, but it is.
It will. It'll feel like it later today.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse out there, I guess, all things considered. It's a pretty sunny, clear... In fact, actually, I don't see a cloud in the sky this morning, and I can see the windmill from my vantage point here. It's definitely... rocking and rolling, so it's kind of windy out there, I guess, at least up top of the hill up there.
Always.
So if you're outside, maybe a nice wind jacket would be nice. Brandon, how are you?
Nice windbreaker. I'm fine. I'm fine. Whatever. It was too short.
Oh my God!
Come on, guys.
I'm still caught up on the fact that he said dehydrated. I'm probably dehydrated. I didn't drink a lot of water, and I didn't drink a lot of alcohol either. I drank soda the entire time. So there we go.
So you didn't change anything.
Yeah, I didn't change anything about my life. So there you go.
I genuinely think spring break was a good amount of time. I think anything more, and I would have checked out mentally forever. And anything less, I would have come back still not well rested enough.
Yeah.
But a solid week was good enough for me. I don't know about you guys, but I got a lot in.
We need to delve in. We need to delve into to Kristen's spring break. Probably more than any of the rest of us, because I already said I kind of stuck around. I had a good time, but I stuck around. I know Alicia worked most of that time, and Brandon, I'm actually not really sure. I assume you went home.
Well, I went home and then I went to Winston-Salem to visit a friend.
Gotcha.
Actually, I went to visit Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Miss you. Wait, I thought he was going to be here.
Madness at his place. That's
always, I did plenty of that, but that was in between.
But
writing
that's
papers
not
and
as
stuff.
exciting as Kristen's. I saw her Snapchat. Oh my gosh.
Kristen is that person who was throwing it in all of our faces.
I'm sorry.
She had a fantastic spring break.
I'm
Please
so sorry.
keep bragging about how was Colorado.
Oh my God.
Every social media account, it was like, oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're doing that.
Was it totally awesome with your awesome friends?
You know
your
what,
awesome
Alicia?
Time? How many moose did you see? Your goats.
Okay, listen, I'm sorry. I did blow up social media. However, it was worth it. You have to when you're doing stuff like that, because most of the time, my social media consists of me snuggling my dog or me at work. So when I go somewhere fantastic, when I go somewhere fantastic like that, yeah, I did blow up a little bit. My bad, but I did see moose, and it was quite enjoyable.
I think Howard was the best, because
oh my God,
not to rag on Kansas, but Howard was so enamored with everything, and then they get to Kansas, and Howard's like, it's Kansas.
You don't understand. Do never drive through Kansas. Colorado, seriously, is beside Kansas like that, because they make you go through, the worst part of America to get to the best. I'm so serious. Kansas is 500 miles of absolute nothing. We saw tumbleweeds in Kansas. There's nothing. You won't see a rest stop for 3 hours, and it's terrible. Not a turn, not a hill.
People usually have the same. I don't drive through Kansas that often, but I do drive through large portions of Tennessee fairly often. And people have the same argument for Tennessee, is that the period in between, so you have the long stretch you get past Memphis, and then before Memphis and Nashville, there's nothing on I-40. And then in between Nashville and Knoxville, there is nothing. But it's not the same kind of nothing.
Nothing is ridiculous. There's not a street light, not a tree, not a cloud. Like, you
just
don't
no one
understand.
lives there.
Nothing.
Just no one lives out there.
Welcome to
like,
West Texas.
Is that like
That's literally what
Is that like
you
North
go
Dakota?
through.
Like no one lives there, so.
I mean, some people live there, but it's like 15 families that live there because everyone has a farm, that's thousands of acres large.
It's also all the roads are just straight. There's not one tiny curve. There's not one little hill. And so if you're driving, we drove through Kansas about 2 to 4 a.m. Honestly, maybe like midnight to 4 a.m. And you're just the whole way. You're like, I can't stay awake because this is so boring. And we saw a coyote run through the road in Kansas, and that was about it. That was about it for Kansas. So you know what? Howie was like, I want to drive through Kansas. He goes, I want to drive through Kansas just so I can say, we're not in Kansas anymore. From that movie, whatever.
A lot of people went to Colorado for spring break.
It was a spot.
Because usually for spring break, my first thought is I want to go to a beach for a week and stay. My plans. I was supposed to go to Miami for an entire week. Had to cancel them. But I'd rather go to a beach. But a lot of people left the mountains of Boone just to go to the mountains of Colorado.
We joked about that. But I mean, if you're a mountain person, all of our friends were mountain people. We hate the beach. We hate the beach so much.
I don't think the weather was that great to go to a beach unless you're going to like Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know, like North Carolina beaches at least. It wasn't that like hot. It was still really cold.
I'm not really. I wouldn't consider myself an often beach goer.
Yeah.
But for like spring break, things like that, I would probably rather go to say a beach than Colorado, just simply because I'm usually too tired of it being cold or me having to wear like 4 layers just to go outside and do anything. Like even me going to Greensboro for the weekend just to like hang out with people I knew and do things down there. Even that was kind of nice because it was at least it was a little warmer. So.
See, I escaped North Carolina to go to Colorado to get colder. I thought it was going to be 30s the whole time. I was going to run around in snow and have a jolly good time. It was 70 degrees.
Yes. Yeah, you might as well have stayed in North Carolina if you wanted the cold because it was colder here than it was in Colorado.
Colorado.
We didn't see one patch of snow until we got to the top of the mountains.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and because I thought that because when you posted all those pictures of like you on the ski mountain. I was looking at the valley below, and I was like, you're like at 10,000 feet probably.
We were,
something like that. Mm-hmm. I would have thought that there would have been like more snow down there than just right there on top of the peak.
The ski resorts were pretty barren too, almost similar to App Ski here. Like they were. I mean, now I'm sure App Ski's fine now, but previously this winter was pretty tough for them.
I'm very ignorant to that kind of thing. What is like the best place to ski out there? Like Aspen or like?
In Colorado?
Yeah.
There's this one resort we didn't go to because it was so expensive. But Breckenridge, I hear. Breckenridge. That one is apparently the best for snowboarding and skiing.
I always hear
really
people
expensive.
a
lot of my friends spent a lot of like winter breaks there.
Yeah.
You can't afford it with a broke college student budget.
Never really understanding like what it was, but I have heard people like say making fun of other people say, "Oh, you're going to Breckenridge." You're going to Breckenridge. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we found the cheapest one and went to that.
Yeah.
Where I live, my neighborhood's called Breckenridge, so I'll be like, "Oh, I live in Breckenridge," and people will be like, "Oh, Breckenridge, Colorado." I'm like, "No,
no, not that cool place. No,
just Cary, North Carolina." No.
But seriously, if you're a snowboarder or skier, I'm telling you, the baby bunny hills here are basically like crap compared to Colorado. Their bunny hills are like our black diamonds. I swear. I was so bad out there, but I'm decent here. Like I can kind of snowboard here, but out there I probably looked like a fool.
So you took a whole class on it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't survive then because I'm a bad skier and snowboarder. You know, here in North Carolina, I'm pretty sure I couldn't handle something like even like snowshoe, like in West Virginia. So, you know, in fact, and speaking of which, I know several people that went up there. So a lot of people had a very snowy spring break.
Didn't mind it though,
or at least you know that was what they were shooting for. Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
And the Airbnb you stayed at,
was that nice? No complications.
No. Airbnb is fantastic. If you don't know about Airbnb, get on the program because it was fantastic. It was super, super cheap. We rented a whole house for the week, and it was 8 of us, so it ended up being really cheap. We stayed there the week, and it was only $100 each.
The reason I say that is because I'm just always like, even if I see that it's cheaper,
skeptical.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical because I don't want to like go deal with someone who like that's their home.
They don't live there.
Yeah. Okay, in that scenario, I guess that's cool. But I do know people who rent out their place for an Airbnb, and they're like above you.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a different
I would just feel like
situation.
I'm in someone else's space, so I would have to kind of feel that out before I felt comfortable.
Right.
I guess staying.
If I had
in that
enough
kind of
money
place.
to rent out an extra house for an Airbnb, then I'm living a life.
It's just super convenient, though.
It was,
really
yeah.
is.
You don't have to deal with honestly anything because you have the whole house to yourself. You know, the only thing that you have to compromise with is cleaning it when you're done, and then the checkout and check-in times. But other than that, it was just home.
Way better
it was
than
great.
a hotel. I feel like you have to deal with the hotel staff.
Yeah, well, unless you cause a ruckus, you're not going to be dealing with the hotel staff, I guess. But
Yeah. And Alicia Talks Hollywood next on the morning app. Julian Michaels.
And now back to your favorite morning talk show, The Morning App, on 90.5 WASU.
8:15 on this wonderful Monday morning after spring break on the morning app.
Wake up!
Yeah, wake up.
Wake up!
If you've been living under a rock, maybe you can tell us what's happened in Hollywood. For all of us that are living under a rock, I know I've been living under a rock for about
I like
a week.
my rock. It's mossy.
Oh my god.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's a
but I like
nice,
it there.
quaint
Kristen saw
place.
all the cool rocks on her cool spring break trip to awesome Colorado.
Oh
We're
my
gonna try to drop it. It's hard
Get
for
out
us.
of
You
here.
don't understand.
It sounds like you're really, really salty.
I am. You should see if you follow Kristen on Instagram and see
Oh
all
my
my very
God.
salty comments on all
She
the
did. She
photos.
commented on all of this. She was like, "Stop posting, please. Please stop posting." She's like, "You're being annoying."
Anyways, so someone who I love more than Kristen, Ed Sheeran.
No one.
All right, Ed Sheeran, if you don't know.
Talented.
Very talented. And he released his album Divide. If you didn't know, like Brandon said, you've been living under a rock. So his new album Divide, Kristen is distracted by the boomerang that she made before we went live. So
It's a good one, guys.
anyway, so he released his album Divide, and it's already broken a lot of records, and it's not even been released for an entire month, which is the most impressive thing. So remember that when I'm about to give you a list of records he's already beaten, it has not been released for an entire month.
Okay.
Okay, so the first
Keep that
one, the Guinness World Records announced that Divide is officially the fastest selling pop album in the UK by a male artist ever. All right, number
Ever.
one, ever. It sold more in its first week than the rest of UK's top 500 albums combined. Let that sink
Are
in.
these accurate?
I mean,
100%.
I'm sure that they're accurate. It's what always gets me with this kind of thing is that we just purchase things in a different way now. So it was harder for things to necessarily like blow up in this proportion 40 years ago because you had to physically go out there and like buy a hard copy of something. You could run out of hard copies. Like you don't run out of downloads. You know? So this doesn't surprise me, honestly. You have others.
Oh yeah,
Keep going.
The
Sorry,
list is not done yet.
Yeah.
Well, this also is not his first Guinness World Record. Just sidetrack. His single "Thinking Out Loud" won for the longest climb to number 1 in the UK single charts for 19 weeks. So this is his second world record for Guinness. Also, Spotify, since you said it's easier, you don't have to just buy albums.
Yeah.
Spotify confirmed that "Shape of You" was number 1 on their charts in 39 countries. And broke Adele's record for best first week for a track, which she won with her song "Hello."
Yeah. If I didn't know all the words to "Shape of You" before I had like a 5-hour drive yesterday, and then the day before that, I definitely know all the words now because it's certainly been played
all
a
the
lot.
radio
But I
stations
like
are
it.
playing
Like,
it,
I mean, I wasn't necessarily tired of it per se, but yeah, it's huge.
First day it was released on Spotify, "Shape of You" had over 6 million streams. First day alone on Spotify, 6 million times.
Wow.
This album helped him break the record for most simultaneous UK top 20 singles. Out of the top 20, 16 of the songs were his. And out of the top 10, also he broke most singles in the UK's top 10. 9 out of the top 10 were his. And he, the person who had that record before him was, ironically, Calvin Harris, best friend's T Swift's ex-boyfriend, and he took it from him.
I'm looking at Kristen, and I'm like, these have to be made up numbers.
That's my thought process.
People like Michael Jackson and just everyone out
The
there.
Beatles?
The Beatles.
This is a
like,
UK
Again, we're back to my point from earlier.
I know.
It's harder.
It's a different time.
I
I don't
understand
care.
that.
Michael Jackson was Michael Jackson.
But I also just don't understand. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because he's not my music taste. But I don't see the hype in Ed Sheeran. I really didn't think that he was this popular.
For one thing, I mean, if you're comparing now, the Beatles is a better comparison. But if you're comparing him to Michael Jackson isn't their homeboy. Like Ed Sheeran is like, I mean, he's not. Is he English or is he Scottish?
I think he's Scottish.
He's from the UK, but I don't think he's necessarily from
I think
England.
his parents were Irish or something, and then he's a kind of a mix of both, probably.
But point being, he's from the UK.
Yeah.
He's from the United Kingdom. So yeah, like they're celebrating him.
One Direction.
That's another good point. One Direction was in
One Direction.
the time of downloads.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah, but One Direction, One Direction was the teenage bop era. Ed Sheeran is loved by all ages, across all countries, across like everywhere. Like One Direction was popular with like teenagers. Ed Sheeran's popular with moms. I know a lot of guys who love Ed Sheeran. I know a lot of young girls who love Ed Sheeran. I love Ed Sheeran, you know?
It's the kind of thing where, like, if you're driving in the car and you're with your family, I mean, let's say in this hypothetical world, you have kids, and your kids want to listen to it. You don't hate listening to it necessarily going down the road, or it's not awkward for you to listen to because it's not, like, explicit, or it's, you know, not the kind of thing where you feel like you need to have a talk with your kid after they listen to that on the radio. So it definitely has wider appeal than a lot of things that are popular. So I could see where that would...
I love it. His new album is everything. Oh, it's so good.
Everything.
It's everything, man. Oh, if you haven't listened to it, you gotta.
I just don't think he's that. I don't think he's worth the hype. I'm sorry.
Okay, one thing you'll
feel
appreciate.
Like you don't like anything.
That's so not true.
Kristen,
that's so not true. I'm a lover of many things.
You'll appreciate this though, because I know you like music and you appreciate good, like, talented artists.
Yeah.
The one thing you probably don't know about Ed Sheeran is he's a one-man band. So when he's at concert, everything you're hearing, all the instruments, he does alone, by himself, on the stage. He records the guitar, he records the sound effects into this machine, and then he steps on the pedal, and it loops, and it starts playing. So he's controlling everything live in front of a million people. I mean, that is...
all he has is like he has a little... He usually sits on one of those boxes that you can, like... I don't know what they're called, but, like, you can tap them and you can loop that. I think he has a little kick drum, and then it's like you said, he also has his guitar, and it really is. It's crazy. It is.
What would be more impressive is he did all of that live while singing. I don't know. Just the fact that he, like,
he does do all that live. I mean, come on. You can't, like...
I'm just saying.
You only have two hands.
Play some drums, guitar, sing, make the sound effects behind it. You know?
If he's playing, the guitar
like
with his foot,
that's
Brandon will be impressed.
Yeah, he's singing lyrics, and you just hear like clicking in the back while he's singing lyrics. I don't know.
Brandon's never impressed.
Too high of expectations. Do you want him to fly too while he's doing all that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Fly across the audience.
Oh, I'd like that'd be impressive. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Kanye West, where the stage comes like in the middle of all the fans. Impressive, actually.
But Travis brings up a good point. Like, what if the Beatles were in the download era, or what if Queen was in the download era?
Yeah,
especially for the UK.
It would be different. I don't know exactly like what it's hard to compare.
Freddie Mercury is life.
Yeah,
like Freddie Mercury.
But like musical tastes have changed, so it's hard to say that if you compare them head to head. But if that was already the way it was when they were a big deal, and that was the way music was going, but people could already download, then yeah, I feel like things would be more comparable. But even so, I still feel like today's numbers, and I feel like it'll only get, no matter how popular someone is right now, someone who might be marginally popular 20 years from now will have more record sales because there's physically more people on planet Earth. True. I mean, we haven't stopped growing, and I don't think we will anytime soon, which is concerning, but that's another discussion for another time. And so more and more people are available or have technology available to them. We live here in the United States where, like, we take a lot of that for granted, but, like, there's still places on the planet, where that is either not available or just now becoming available. So I think these things will continue to get more and more inflated. So
maybe it's just impressive.
Whether or not,
I mean, even if you want to argue about the Beatles or about Prince or One Direction, or whatever, it's still, you cannot take away that is pretty impressive.
I can't believe he beats out the top 10 singles.
And I don't
like he holds 9 of them.
And I don't think like we always talk about like the greatest of all time kind of thing, whether it's like music or sports or really anything. We're comparing eras. But if you can say that you were the biggest deal on the planet at any time
around the world
in history, I think you're doing pretty well for yourself, and you don't necessarily have to claim greatest of all time kind of thing.
But you know who the greatest of all time is?
Tell me.
Jim Halpert. Let's throw it back to The Office, please.
Old Jim.
What a classic.
Jim Halpert.
Jim Halpert.
Love him.
AKA,
he is good.
Unfortunately, his real name, which people don't know him by, John Krasinski. Am I saying that right? John Krasinski. And his wife, Emily Blunt. Okay, so they're married. If you know who Emily Blunt is.
Goals.
They're precious. She was in Devil Wears Prada. She was in what other movies?
IMDb.
Oh, she's like, that's all I want.
I was just like, for me, she is the girl in Devil Wears. Yeah, she's in a lot of movies.
A-list actor.
Yeah. So they're married, no, and they've always had one, basically like rule about their marriage is the fact that they would never star in a movie together, ever. All right. Well, now they're breaking it. And I'm pumped about this. So they're going to start in a movie called A Quiet Place. And it starts filming in the fall. And the best thing about this is that it's starring both of them together for the first time ever since they've been like dating and a couple or married. But John's also going to write and direct the movie. And it's going to be a thriller. So I don't watch movies, but, you know, I'll probably go out of my way to see this one.
A Quiet Place?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have thought that,
Oh, we'll see.
I could see John Krasinski directing a thriller. I wouldn't see necessarily Emily Blunt in a. Maybe she has, and I just don't think.
She was in A Girl on the Train.
Oh,
right?
so right.
Yeah,
And I
so that was a
that a while
thriller.
back. Okay, you're right. Okay, yeah.
She could do it.
Yeah, I'm pumped to see it then.
He's also one of the writers of The Office, so.
Yeah, he's helped.
He's really talented.
So he's helped direct and produce the movie that just came out, Manchester by the Sea, that got like really good. He helped to make that one. Brief Interviews with Hideous Men. Haven't really heard of that one, but again, he did help with The Office.
I think that did like a Sundance kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
But
I heard Manchester by the Sea is top notch.
What I like about this couple is, first of all, they're super funny. I mean, they're the funniest couple in Hollywood by far. Probably behind Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, but Ryan Reynolds holds the comedy hat in that family. But they're both really good at thrillers too, so this movie's automatically going to be great.
Let's hope so.
Well, the plot hasn't been released. They're not giving any details about it.
That was going to be my next question. Is like, what is it?
So they haven't released any details about that. The only thing that's been released is the fact that they're finally doing a movie together. He's writing and directing it, and it starts in the fall.
I wonder what made them like change their mind.
Probably everyone
bugging them
begging
about
them
it
all the time to make a movie.
And also got a lot of money to do it as well.
And I'm sure at some point you're just curious. You know,
Right.
it's like, hey, like I'm an actor, you're an actress,
as well as
I'm a writer.
chemistry.
Actually, to answer your question, Brandon, when I was reading this, the reason they're both doing this like specific movie is because they read the script themselves, because it was like an original script before he took it. They read it, and it was both so good. Like, they both thought it was, like, the best script they'd read in a long time, that they couldn't give up this, like, role. So that's the reason they're both deciding to do this one movie.
Interesting.
I hear that from actors all the time, like in interviews, where they're like, oh, you know, like, I didn't really want to work right now. Like, I wasn't in that, like, space, but, like, this script is so awesome.
I think you know it's going to be good.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway.
All right, right now it's Paris by the Chainsmokers on the Morning App. It is 8:34 on this cold Monday morning, but if you haven't been outside yet, we have your Rays weather for today.
Yeah, and it's warming right up. Today, Monday, we'll have a high of 60, low of 47 later today. A chance of maybe a sprinkle later, but
nope.
I can handle a sprinkle if
Not today.
It's going to be 60 degrees for the high. And just kind of looking out toward tomorrow, high of 67.
Oh my God.
That's almost 70 degrees if you're bad at math.
No.
I didn't bring shorts back.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
man, I have to work out harder if I'm going to bring shorts back this early, man.
Yeah. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped about the weather, the whole thing it has going on.
It's spring, guys.
And who knows? Like, I mean, my wardrobe right now is kind of in a mess. I don't even know like what clothes I have to wear if it's going to be almost 70 degrees tomorrow. I might have to make a run on Goodwill
Man, that's
later
my whole
today.
wardrobe. I have no winter clothes.
Yeah, I might have to make a run on Goodwill later today just to kind of like get some clothes to get me over the hump. But when is the last time you guys have been to Goodwill? Just out of curiosity.
Honestly, I go all the time.
Yeah.
I go quite a bit.
Well, we have a nice one where we live.
Yeah,
Like a very
yeah.
nice
Back home near Raleigh, the Goodwills are pretty nice. But the ones up here too, you can find decent stuff here. I get a lot of really cool, like
went,
old
like, 2
retro
weeks ago.
T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
I like
Vintagey
Goodwill.
stuff.
Yeah.
Goodwill is where it's at.
It's where it's at.
Goodwill.
It's where it's at. Well, one person, they got a little more than they bargained for at Goodwill a while back. At one particular Goodwill location, there was a couple that came in and they were wanting to buy a cooler. I guess maybe they were taking a venture of some sort. They're like, yeah, that's a nice cooler there. So they bought a cooler there. Obviously, you're getting it on the low there at Goodwill. They get it back to their place and they open it up. And to their surprise, there is almost 4 pounds of marijuana in this cooler. Now, this raises the question for me. This raises the question.
I wonder how much the cooler costs.
I would say very little. And this raises the question to me. You can drop these kind of things off. I find it hard to believe that someone who had that much of that particular item wouldn't know that it was in this cooler. I find that hard to believe. So I feel like this might have been like I'm getting rid of this kind of situation and dropping it off. And I really don't feel like that's what the Goodwill spirit is about. What do you guys think?
Process?
There isn't a vetting process.
Well, not like a vetting process, but
yeah,
like
you'd think they would go through the cooler, like open it,
like,
make sure it's
Please
clean.
open the cooler.
Like if someone, just saying, if this was like a Yeti cooler and someone drops off a Yeti cooler and they're like, oh, this cooler's like really nice, like a $200 cooler and it has 4 pounds of weed in it.
Wouldn't you feel the weight?
Yeah, I feel like you would.
The weight would be what would get me, I guess.
Okay, what gets me is that there's 3.7 pounds of weed in this. I guarantee, well, I don't guarantee you, but how much you want to bet that there was 4 pounds and the people that bought it were just like, well, we have it.
Oh, that's a very good point. That's a good point.
Or the employees when they were cleaning out, well, it's here. So.
No, if the employees saw it, there would have been no pounds in that cooler. It would have divvied up.
Now we're just incriminating people that work at Goodwill. But yeah, that amount of marijuana, it roughly would cost you, at least according to what the cop said in the police report, $24,000 in the particular area that it was found.
That's a felony, right?
Sure, that's a felony, but you're not going to just donate that to Goodwill. I don't think he was donating it to get it off his hands. I think this man just genuinely forgot about that. That's a lot of money to just give away.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if you're in a tight spot.
Maybe it's a really tight spot, they were onto him.
But I mean,
and how do we know it's a him?
If he or she did genuinely forget, if they did genuinely forget, then I kind of start thinking about myself about these kind of things. Like, oh, have you actually forgotten about something like that? Not necessarily that particular item, but you know what I mean, like something kind of along those lines.
Yeah, because I mean, anytime you stay in a hotel, you just accidentally leave a phone charger, and you're just like, oh,
well, that's different.
Yeah. But it's still like this nice little surprise for the people that work there, because I mean, I assume that they're not probably going to try to track you down for every single little thing, because I mean, hey, you left it there and you're now in another country maybe. So
like that one time, I was really, really young, and I was at my sister's softball tournament, and I always got bored watching her play, so I'd go, play by myself or run around or do something. I don't know. And there was this fence like on the outside, and so I went and I was walking by it, and I looked down on the grass. And I saw some money wrapped up, and I figured, oh, cool, like, you know, a couple bucks, probably 3, 4. I found like $60 just like sitting on the ground, and I was like, sucks that someone dropped this, but I can pay for dinner now, so thanks.
Well, unlike you, I'm a great human being. No, I'm just kidding. No, one time I was at the zoo, and someone dropped like $100 bill, like right in front of me, and I was like, and I knew it was theirs, and I picked it up, and my friend was like, you don't have to give that back to them. And I was like, whoa, no, I kind of do. So I like tapped him on the shoulder and was like, yo, this is like your $100 bill. They gave me like $20.
Karma, yeah, for karma reasons, I would have given that back. But if I didn't see who dropped it, I'd been like, finders keepers, and just put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
Or you could turn it into the lost and found.
What kind of monster Alicia is.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're gonna find $100 bill, like $100 on the ground, no one around, you're gonna turn that into.
No.
I would
if you
keep
turn
it
that
if it
lost
was
and found, the employees are just gonna be like,
No, I don't know.
I would be like, thanks.
I would
now
keep
I'm rich.
I would keep it if it was 20, but honestly, anything over 20 or like 100, you could no, the employees will do the right thing too. And
No, they won't.
Have faith. Have faith. They will. And the $100 bill will get returned.
You just said that those people like found the product and they're like, oh, might as well use this.
Okay.
Yeah, turn that in, right?
Whatever. Well, see, I lose money all the time.
Imagine the story to the cops. Hey, I bought something from Goodwill and this was in it. And the cops are just like skeptical. They're like, "Are you?"
I think it's funny
that
that
they got arrested for that.
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
ooh, true.
Technically possession.
Yeah.
Technically.
Well, along the same lines as this Goodwill story, there was a couple in England, and for whatever reason, England is yet again here on the show. We almost exclusively talk about England sometimes.
Who doesn't love jolly old England?
People.
Yeah. But a couple, they bought a grand piano. And they bought this grand piano in 1983. So let that sink in. This has been a long time that they've owned this grand piano, right? They bought this grand piano in 1983 and just recently took it to whatever the person, it wasn't to get it tuned. They were having something actually worked on it. And they had to open this particular compartment in the piano that I guess you do not have to open unless you need to fix this particular part, right? Mm-hmm. And it doesn't disclose how much they found in here, but it says that when they opened this particular compartment, that a life-changing amount of gold was found.
Oh.
And so like life-changing. So I assume we're talking like millions of pounds
to basically be like, and I'm done working.
Yeah. Gold isn't that great to invest in. I don't know. I don't think so.
It's good to sell, though.
I would be okay with finding a life-changing amount of gold.
It has to be. I think it has to be a lot of gold for it to be life-changing.
I think it was a decent amount of gold.
Gold's on the decline. Just saying.
I am just wondering why that I am so darn unlucky.
Right?
This never happens.
No, you don't find weed, you don't find gold.
I never find a life-changing amount of gold.
Compartment.
No, and with travel like that was what I was thinking all weekend about that kid. This young little boy was like just walking in some national park, whatever, found a diamond worth like millions. All right, he thought it was a cool rock, picked it up, it was a diamond, and he sold it worth millions. That kid is done with life. He can go move to the Bahamas and have no cares in the world.
Yeah.
I need that luck.
Where's my diamond?
Where's my diamond?
Gosh, I mean, I'm over here, like, I'm just trying to, get like a part-time job, These people out here just going on a hike, just finding diamonds and gold.
I'm just trying to get by,
I get that.
And these people picking up
Or
precious rocks.
the Catch Me Outside girl getting paid like $40,000 to do appearances.
Are you serious?
If we're going to talk about her for a hot second, she has extended her 15 seconds of fame into like 3 minutes. That has not been entertaining to watch, in my opinion. I mean, it was funny. Like that week,
I mean, now she's in like Kodak Black's music video.
I mean,
she's making appearances at festivals in Miami for like money.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame her for getting hers while the getting's good kind of thing. But
First of all, her mother made this huge deal about her being like a terrible person, and then her mother's letting her do all this. So I'm done with that family. Like, that just makes no sense.
Hey,
they're cashing in on it.
They're being smart, though. If you have that opportunity to cash in and make a brand for yourself and get paid to do it, whether it was good or bad, it doesn't matter. She's still getting paid.
Yeah.
Way more than I'll make this whole year.
Oh, I mean, yeah, of course. Just to make an
Go,
appearance.
girl. Keep being rude to your mom. Keep showing the world, what not to do and getting paid for it.
Oh my God.
Gosh, yeah, but I'm definitely going to look into buying a grand piano. See if I can't. Can we add that to the list? So,
of course.
So the edible silverware.
Yeah.
We're gonna purchase a grand piano just cause.
I was just
and
working
what was
on
that
it
other
this
thing?
spring
What was
break.
that other thing? We had a third. We had a third thing. Do you remember?
Don't remember.
You can try purchasing
Hopefully
a
it'll
cooler.
come to me.
Yeah, we need to purchase a cooler along with all
We
this.
need to. Well, obviously we need to do that. But
Yeah. And an expensive one because we're going to make a lot of money off this edible silverware. Working on the presentation still.
okay.
I was working on it over
Man,
spring
you were
break.
slacking
It's
hard,
really
man.
a thing.
This is a joke that they will not
No,
let
I
go.
swear, like it's going to happen.
Oh my God.
It's a joke that we won't let go. That I'm not willing to let go.
It's a great
I
idea.
think
We got the
Well,
niche
then.
markets and the wide markets.
Yeah.
You just
Well,
wanna
when
use
we
the word
come
niche.
back, we're going to be talking, relationships and some lovey-dovey stuff. But right now, I Don't Want to Live Forever, Taylor Swift and Zayn are on the morning app.
And now back to your favorite morning talk show, The Morning App, on 90.5 WASU.
Good morning. It is 8:50. I know it's the Monday after spring break, but if you have class at 9, get up and go. You got 10 minutes. You can do it.
Hey, Brian, are you going to class
Come
this
on.
morning?
You got this.
What? No. It got canceled at like 10:40 last night.
Get out of here, Brandon.
So hyped.
I have an exam today.
Only
Ew.
class
The Monday
today.
after spring break.
I was telling
Terrible.
Kristen before the show, I have like 3 papers and 2 presentations this week. Whew, man. Not only is it the
home
week after.
stretch, man.
Oh, whew, man.
The home stretch.
But hey, like a month, right?
Well, it's like
Right.
8 weeks, right?
If you didn't know, today is National Proposal Day. So, Jordan, if you're listening, please stay away from me right now.
Great distance away. Yeah.
Right, so apparently Kristen has some interesting news about a proposal.
Yeah, so I'm not looking for... No, I'm not looking for anyone anytime soon. Do not get that face. No, give me a solid 10 years to get my life together. However, this is absolutely adorable. This couple... This man has just set the standard for proposals. And it's not by going all out, spending $10,000 on a photographer and a venue and places and just this whole... thing. You know how teenagers...
Kristen, that's what we have to do.
No, it's not.
No. This,
Yeah,
right
true,
here.
true.
Boys,
Travis is
take
right.
notes. This is what you do.
This cost him maybe $1.50. He had to get some pen and paper, but that is it. This man has just set the precedent. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Timothy Chi and Candace Catherine are dating, right? He started dating her 3 years ago. A week into dating her, knew that he wanted to marry this girl.
Ah.
That's the key.
That's some Jim Halper and Pam stuff
Yeah.
right there. You know?
So he wrote her a love letter, and it began with a big capital W. Do you get where I'm going with this yet? No, probably not. Okay,
No,
so
I have no idea.
it was the first of many well-planned notes. Basically, over the course of the next 3 years of them dating, he wrote, what was it, like 13 more letters?
I mean, I assume it's "Will you marry me," right?
Aw, ding, 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 Travis gets it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened? But it's
I was
so
Not
so
for Travis.
clueless. I was
so cute.
clueless. I was.
Fast forward 3 years later, and he writes her little note that says, "Come outside when you're ready," you know, blah, blah, blah. Rose petals, has the letters laid out for her, and they read the letters, and they relive their relationship in all 3 years, starting from the first week to now. And he said, you know, if you want to rearrange them, you should probably do that. And so she put it together, and it spelled, "Will you marry me?" And they are now happily married. Is that not the cutest?
Wait, so like
And he didn't spend a
every
dime.
letter, like every letter started with.
Like a big capital WILL.
Ah, that's genius. That is genius.
It's cute, man.
Can I? Well, I guess this might
Ruin
be hard to
this?
follow
Yes,
up on.
Travis.
Yes, I'm
Also
trying.
wrong confidence.
Let me go ahead and ruin this for everyone listening.
Wait, really?
No, I was. So yeah, that's a really sweet proposal. Do you think he's gonna get out of this wedding for $1.50?
Oh
think
my
so.
God.
I don't think so.
Cynical.
You know.
How much confidence do you have to
Also,
have
like, how
to
much does the
be-
ring cost? Like, I doubt that was $1.50.
Okay, but the proposal itself,
The idea,
Travis.
Yeah.
the idea itself. Was
Yeah. No, I'm not saying
Ay.
I'm not saying
You know
it's
what they
not
should-
like beautiful and sweet, but like,
Yeah.
you know, but like you were just like, yeah, you got out with like $1.50. Yeah. No, yeah.
Did they? So they're already married.
Yeah.
I hope what they did was at their wedding. What would have been really cute to share that moment with everyone is actually put the letters up somewhere to be displayed.
Make like a
so people
display,
can
yeah.
see like how they did it and read the.
That's
That would've
okay.
been
So
kinda
that
cool.
would be cute, but I'm
Unless
also
it was really
intimate
personal.
also.
yeah, I'm a really private person. I don't even like to put my Facebook status as in a relationship. So I don't think I would want to put those proposal letters
Yeah.
in front of my entire family.
But he knew a week in. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot
What
of
if they broke
confidence.
up?
That's what I'm
Or
saying.
what
That
if-
is a ton of confidence to be like, I'm going to marry this girl. Like I'm starting this idea now.
Or what if she walked out and saw all the letters and put it together and just said no?
No,
Well,
that
then,
would
you run the
happen.
risk. You run that risk, I guess, anytime
Yeah,
that you
come on.
propose to anyone.
Guys
I mean,
have
you
to
should,
put-
you should
guys
have
have to
an
put their-
idea in your
their-
mind that the girl's gonna say yes.
They have to
They're-
put their neck on the line.
I saw a video just literally yesterday of someone proposing in like this very grandiose fashion, which I mean obviously it doesn't necessarily matter how you propose. Maybe this person just obviously didn't like this person, but yeah, it went really bad. There's nothing worse in my opinion than watching those kind of things where the person's like not on the same page about
if
getting
it's a
married.
public one too.
Whoa,
Yeah.
And, well, and that
It's
also,
really
so that
rough.
depends on the girl because I would not want to be proposed to
In public. Me neither.
I do not. I don't
Nope.
want the jumbotron. I don't want in the
Oh,
middle of New
no.
York
But you
City.
would- I
I
feel
don't
like-
want everyone's staring at me I will probably say no, even though I mean to say yes, but it's just 'cause I'm so nervous.
No, to protect the guy's feelings, you would just say yes and then later tell him I was gonna say no.
Do you know me? I can't lie.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd be like, and walk away like right in front of
I
everyone.
think proposals need to be intimate and between you two. I dislike public proposals as well. I think that's a shared moment between you and your future husband, fiance, whatever. So it should happen in a private place.
It depends on the person and the situation. And
that's not even like, I'm not even old school, you know? But I just don't, I don't know. Maybe it's also just because I'm a private person.
I wouldn't be probably. Well, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't be confident enough to do it in public, but I feel like if you have any doubt at all,
don't do it in public.
Then you definitely shouldn't do this in public.
But you also, maybe you're doing it in public. For my case, well, they'll just say yes.
Oh, just because of the pressure. Just because of the pressure.
There you go.
No, seriously, if you're not that confident, like if you want to propose to someone, you have to be 110% sure.
Well, first,
and it's okay to have some doubt, but you have to be
like have already had the conversation.
Yeah, you have
just
to be
like,
almost positive that this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life.
That's why I don't understand when people propose and the girl says no, and they're like so surprised how she said no, and I was like,
how'd you
how long have you been dating, and how have y'all not had that conversation? Like that's a pretty important conversation. You should have a life conversation with your partner before you're ever engaged, before you're ever married. They should know whether you're going to propose, like if you're going to do it, what they would say, what you're going to do if you get pregnant, what you're going to do if you lose your job. You should have these conversations way before you're married.
I've had this conversation with my parents before, talking about like that period in their life. You know, when they first got married, or first I guess got proposed to, and the proposal itself. I was just telling someone this yesterday was kind of funny because it wasn't necessarily so much of a proposal as it was just like, so we're doing this, right?
Seriously?
Like, because they like knew they were getting married.
That's for some people too, though.
My parents only dated for like 6 months prior to getting engaged because like they were both. They weren't old, but like they were older than most people get married.
Yeah.
Dad was like 37, so it was like they were ready. I
honestly wouldn't mind that type of proposal, quote unquote, because there's so much less pressure. You know, there's less pressure on the man, there's less pressure on the woman, and I would be fine with a casual. Hey, we're getting married, right? Yeah.
You know who didn't like it?
Your mom?
My mother.
Oh.
She still kind of harbors a little ill will there, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You know, love mom.
Most girls would, I guess. Yeah. Understandable.
I wouldn't do this in public, though, most likely. Even if I was very, very confident, I'm kind of with you. I think I would rather have that
intimate
shared
moment
with no one else other than the people who would be there. I
want to get married alone. I want to say,
she does.
Like I do.
How does that work?
What I want to do is, I want to go on the side of a mountain.
There does have to be someone there.
I want to go on the side of a mountain or in front of the ocean or some scenic view, and me and him alone just say our vows, and then just throw a party, because weddings are expensive. Do you know it costs $600 to $1,000 for wedding invitations alone?
They're also
weddings
really boring.
are crazy expensive.
Yeah. Get married alone.
Weddings,
less pressure.
It can't be entirely alone because someone has to be there to like consummate it or
my friend will do it. She'll get you can register online for that.
Consummate is not the word you're looking for. But anyway, that's going to do it here on the morning app.
Validated.
Yeah, on the morning app here on this Monday. We'll be back same time, same place this coming Wednesday, and hopefully we will be in better spirits than the word to begin the show. You know, spring break, we'll have gotten over it by that point. But thanks for listening to the morning app.